some Benito news because 3 days after the Super Bowl, people are still trying to decode, decipher, break on. They're still uncovering all the Easter eggs and all the references, all the cultural references and things regarding of all the things that he put in there. I know some people was like, why didn't he have that Yankee and this one, that one up there on the stage? I feel like at the end of the day, it was about Bad Bunny. He's a superstar. He wanted to take on the bulk of this, me. Why I'm a superstar. I'm gonna give you me and the culture and all the other stuff. All the other people that I've worked with and stuff, he had Cardi B dancing in the background. He played Don Omar and Tego Calderon and Daddy Yankee and all those other artists that he's collaborated with. He played snippets of their music. So that was the shout out and the reference within itself. We not what I'm glad that he didn't do is that he didn't do like everybody does at these Super Bowl events, which is I got to bring out 50 people and put them up on stage, and we all got like 12 minutes to get everybody's little moment in. It's like, no, we only got a small amount of time to get this message across. It's literally halftime, 15 minutes to get in, perform, get out. So I'm gonna try to throw as much in as possible. You're getting all that with the cultural references, but also the other artists who definitely has helped and shaped reggaeton. I'm gonna give them their props, and he did that through playing snippets of their music in between those moments of his performance. So if people didn't catch it, well, that's on you. And plus, I already told y'all, Daddy Yankee don't do secular music no more. So first things first. So shout out to Benito because we actually have the final numbers of how many people watched the Super Bowl because there were some people that were saying, well, he did 140 something odd million, so he surpassed Kendrick Lamar, which I don't think he did, but we'll get into the article. So, and I want to get the good news out of the way before we get to the crazy stuff about the House of Representatives and all that. I mean, the politicians, the GOPers, and all that foolishness. So, the chaos and controversy surrounding Bad Bunny's Super Bowl halftime performance did not hurt the viewership numbers. They said he brought in a total of 128.2 million people to watch, which I will say is more than what y'all got over there at to Pussy. Because they was running around talking about they got 6 million. No, it wasn't. It was bots. And people was doing the research. They said that, yeah, y'all had literally bots up in there that y'all were using to get people to watch the To Pussy event over there on YouTube. They couldn't even get a licensing deal, whatever the case was. They couldn't get all the things of them trying to stream it on Twitter. Which you would think that somebody as racist as Elon or apartheid Clyde, as I like to call him, would have gotten people to come over there and watch that situation, but they didn't. So, yeah, they said it was bots. Also, it was pre-recorded. They recorded the To Pussy event on a Friday. How was it Super Bowl Sunday? Well, you said you was going to do it you was going to have it coincide with the Super Bowl thing. You filmed it on a Friday and they paid 200 some odd people to come in there and act like it was a big crowd. So they were purposely trying to shoot the show with a lot of people in there. But then it was some people that was pulling angles and was like, nah, it's empty in here. They literally hired like a couple of people in there to pretend like it was a big crowd. And also, you had Kid Rock up there, Robert Ritchie, which is his government name, his old looking ass, up there he was lip singing for his life, but he was trying to, you know, plead for RuPaul to keep his ass for another week on Drag Race. That's what he was doing there, and he swore it down. He did not lip sync. And I'm like, okay, so if you didn't lip sync, then why is the microphone you doing this? And then when you pull the microphone down, we still hear your vocal. And it's like, did you not rehearse? Like, how do you not know that, okay, if I'm going to be lip syncing to a track, which is what a lot of these artists do when they go on like Top of the Pops or remember Soul Train back in the day, like stuff like that, how you pull the microphone and your mouth still going? It's like, boy, come on now. So the To Pussy event was a flop, but Super Bowl wasn't. So yeah, so 124 million views. But they said that a new record for peak viewership at 137.8 tuning into the second quarter, drawing an average of 124.9 million viewers for the game. The Stars halftime show drew 128.2, making it one of the most watched performances in Super Bowl history. Kendrick Lamar remains the title holder, which is what I said, that he didn't beat Kendrick's number. So a lot of people, and it doesn't matter because the fact of the matter is we had Kendrick up there and we had Bad Bunny, two cultural significant parts of the hip hop community. Because yes, reggaeton is Spanish hip hop. So let's call it what it is. So you have someone who's on the hip hop side, and you have somebody who's on the Latin hip hop side, where they've come together and they're changing the game and they're bringing people in. And what people need to also realize, American football, as that psycho bitch over there, Megan Kelly, wants to call it, that's not the top of the food chain in regards of sports or whatever. The real gag is that soccer, which is football over in Europe, is the number one sport in the world. Hence why we building a damn soccer field across from City Field in Queens. So if European football, FUTBOL, is not this big thing as these colonizers we want to sit up out here and want you to believe, then why is it like one of the biggest sports in the world? They make more money than American athletes, quiet as it's kept. Ask Carlo Messi how much money he made. He made way more money than a lot of your fave football players. So um a lot of these people be running out here acting like they know what they talking about. They don't know what the fuck they talking about. But so shout out to you, Benito. So yeah, he didn't beat Kendrick's number, and that's fine. But he still broke records. First musician who did not speak a lick of English, gave you full beady beady bum bum for like 15 minutes, and brought in 128 million people. And the reality is, you got to realize a lot of those people that was watching, a lot of main football fans, a lot of people just came in and tuned in just to see him perform. And that's why they said in the second, wait, what was that line where I was reading? They said, yeah, the peak viewership came in at 137.8, and that was into the second quarter, which was when they knew Benito was bringing his little butt out on stage. The numbers went up, so people really wasn't watching the teams going, and well, it was 9-0 before Benito came out. So people wasn't really watching the game beforehand. They wanted to see the Super Bowl, including the haters over at Mar-a-Lago and Megan Kelly and Kid Rock, because they all had something to say about it. We're gonna get into what they had to say coming up. So yeah, I just want to point that out and give him his props. Now, also another thing I want to bring props to is the fact that a lot of people were speculating about his jersey that he had on, because it said, what was it? It's 69 on the back, and it said Ocasio, which Ocasio was his last name. So he basically put this thing out, and he said that it was basically a tribute to his uncle Cuquito. So, a lot of people were sitting there speculating. They said it was a nod to his mother's birth year, a reference to the 64th Congress. Oh, it said 64, it wasn't 69. Which passed, and they also said it was a reference to the 64th Congress, which passed an act granting Puerto Rican citizenship over 100 years ago. So yeah, according to Rolling Stone, they said that the cream white jersey that read Ocasio on the back and 64 on the front during the Super Bowl halftime performance was basically a tribute to his late uncle Cuquito. Now, in a statement in Spanish, he basically said this is why he chose to honor him. He said, wait, did they because I was like, I'm not gonna sit up here and try to read it. I was like, y'all not going to try to chop me over how I speak Spanish. So basically, he said 1964 is the year my uncle Cuquito was born, my mother's brother. The little I know about the NFL is thanks to him. He left for the United States at 17 to work and never returned to live in Puerto Rico, although he always visited us in late January or early February and stayed at our house. That was right in the middle of the NFL postseason, so I always watched the games with him. He was a huge fan of the San Francisco 49ers, the team whose home stadium is where the Super Bowl 60 took place, the one at which I performed. My uncle passed away 2 years ago, shortly after the 49ers lost to Kansas City in the 2024 Super Bowl. I always dreamed of taking my uncle to a Super Bowl, and I couldn't. He left unexpectedly without warning. So during my Super Bowl halftime show, I decided to have him on my shirt, Ocasio, his last name, the same as my mother's, and his birth year, 64. I dedicated my performance to him before it began. I'm sure he saw it. He was present, and he felt proud of his nephew. Now, all that's left is the day the 49ers win another Super Bowl. Now, the sentimental nod to his uncle was one of the many symbols throughout the performance. The star also made sure to include plenty of cultural touchstones of his PR heritage, including references to the island's Sampo Concho, a crested toad endemic to PR that is now critically endangered, and the island's flag in azul clarito, which is associated with Puerto Rican independence. So yeah, so what people didn't realize is that yes, he was carrying, as I put it here, the original Puerto Rican flag, which was light blue, before they decided to change it to the American blue, so that way the Puerto Rican flag matches the American flag with the blues. So yes, in case a lot of people didn't realize that he was carrying the original Puerto Rican flag. So yes, there was a lot of different cultural references that was in the thing, and it's unfortunate that we got the morons on social media and House Republicans who didn't see the references because they were busy being outraged, fake outraged, over the fact of all the gyrating, the twerking, all of that stuff that was going, all the pelvic thrusts and grinding because they ain't got no damn rhythm in their hips. This the dance they like, the dance where it looked like somebody jerking off two dudes so they could squirt skeet skeet in their face because that's the Trump dance. Look like he milking two dicks for his mouth. I'm sure that's in the Epstein files. Like everything else. So, according to Entertainment Weekly, they said 2 days out, well, now 3 days out, Bad Bunny's epic Super Bowl halftime show, which featured cameos from Lady Gaga, Pedro Pascal, and Ricky Martin, is still getting a lot of attention, especially from Republican lawmakers. They were not entertained. Y'all weren't? Are you not entertained? Shout out to Gladiator. So they said by Monday, one of its detractors, Representative Andy Ogle. Well, he was ogling a lot of them broads on that stage, and probably some of the dudes. He probably liked that scene of the two dudes in the little car space where they was grinding on each other. Y'all know that spot. I mean, that scene. If you didn't see it, rewind the video or go back and watch it. It's on YouTube. Asked officials to look into the performance, which he called pure smut, as he claimed was illegal to be displayed on public airways. Look, they even went as far as to compare it to Tittygate and Janet Jackson. I'm like, you cannot make this stuff up, of these salty ass saltines just being mad over nothing and they fake outrage. Now, Ogles cited choreography featuring overtly sexualized moments, including widespread twerking, grinding, pelvic thrust, and other sexually suggestive conduct. He is therefore requested that the Energy and Commerce Committee, EEOC, launch a formal congressional inquiry into the National Football League and NBC immediately for their prior knowledge, deliberate approval, and facilitation of this indecent broadcast. American culture would not be so corrupted without consequence. The fact that they always try to do their little smoke screen, say America will not be mocked. I'm like, who are you talking for? And then when I play you that clip later on of Megan Kelly, it's about we. Bitch, who's we? Speak for yourself. It's you feel this way. It's not we. You want to do a conventional we, so y'all can hide behind y'all bigotry and your hatred and your racism. So that's basically what all of this genuinely is. Hold on a second. Like, what? All right. So now I got morons in here like this one talking about they did better and they didn't even stream the Super Bowl. You fucking moron. Number one, um, Kid Rock talking about and them over there talking about they weren't gonna watch it. So you basically gave the show ratings. Number two, there were bots on it. It's literally if you did the fucking research instead of coming in here with this clown bullshit, then you would know that you were incorrect in your actions. So suck my dick from the back and I hope you choke on my nuts. So um, I was like, I knew I had some dumbass in here with some stupid ass comment, but we're gonna move on because I stay calling out these morons in the comments. Now, and then somebody doing research. What the fuck do you think I've been doing and what I'm providing? But of course, people like moving goalposts, people like trying to change up things, people want to believe what they want to believe. Well, you're in the cult, and I hope you die with the cult. And you will, because y'all not gonna be around for long. And the tides are turning if you actually been paying attention to the tea leaves, which I always do. and I'm always on the forefront of what's going on. So, um, they also went on to say that that Ogle and is it Representative Mark Alford said that he and his Republican colleagues in the House of Representatives already embarked on an investigation. So they said they're wasting tax-paying dollars on bullshit only because they're upset that they had a Latino up there performing and giving an FU to a lot of these ignorant ass people who want to keep us fighting within each other while they go and they pillage our government. They steal all of our resources and they keep us fighting with each other, and they continue to take from the top and leave us crumbs. This is what all this is about. And the fact of the matter is, this is sad that while we see that Bad Bunny and his performance was about uniting a country, which we have seen many a times that that's what he was doing, because it even said it in his message, people were still trying to find a way to spew a bunch of hatred, vitriol, and BS. So y'all can sit up here and waste money, waste time, waste energy, and waste taxpaying dollars on frivolous cases or frivolous investigations when um I just hope whoever gets this put on their desk that they just be like, "You get this shit out my face. Like, you cannot be serious with this foolishness." So yeah, they went on to say, I saw the halftime show. We were switching back and forth with the Turning Point USA. Like, please, you weren't flipping back and forth. You sat there and watched it because we saw the videos. Not you necessarily, because I don't know who the hell you are. I think this is your moment. You want a moment. You want to, create fake outrage. You want to algorithm hustle because that's what a lot of y'all do. Y'all, the rage baiting and all that other mess. That's what y'all, a lot of y'all like to do because you realize this is the new grift. And so a lot of these politicians are trying to get in on it because they all want to have their little moment and kiss Trump's wide, fat, shit infested or covered ass because, he shits himself on the daily. So they want to keep this stuff going. And y'all were sitting there watching it because we even saw at one point that there was video of people in Mar-a-Lago with the TV on the damn Super Bowl. So, but y'all hate these people. You don't like Bad Bunny. He's a problem. He's dangerous. He's all these things. But they're sitting there in Mar-a-Lago watching this. So it's like, do y'all not see the hypocrisy, or y'all just so damn stupid that when people point things out to y'all, it's just hard to compute, or you just still want to just come to terms with the fact of like living in your little Delulu, world, your little bubble. But if that's what you want to do, then maybe you need to go seclude yourself in a place where you could be disconnected from the rest of the world. Because the reality is the world is changing and y'all don't like it. Y'all don't, and I'm probably gonna say there's a lot of times in the show. The real gag is, and Megan Kelly said this quiet part out loud, and I can't wait till we get to her. Because y'all are becoming the minority, and the people like the Hispanic community are becoming the majority. They're having a lot of children. They're starting to grow in regards of the community as a whole. And white people aren't out here procreating like they used to be. Eyewitness News just did a video on it where they was talking about that for the first time, and they said it was going to come by 2030. Well, child, it came 4 years early because in 2026, it's saying like this for the first time in a long time that blacks, Asians, and Hispanics combined have surpassed white people in procreation. So that's the real thing that they mad about. Y'all always gonna be mad about some shit. So yeah, I'm probably gonna reiterate that quite a few times. So yeah, he said I saw the halftime show. We were switching back and forth with the To Pussy halftime show. The lyrics from what we've seen from Bad Bunny are very disturbing, and if it holds true, I don't speak fluent Spanish. Okay, I know how to act. This motherfucker had the nerve to fix his mouth and say, I know to ask where the bathroom is. Are you serious? Yeah, so you can put your head in the goddamn toilet because you're full of shit. But if it's true, what was said on national television, we have a lot of questions for the entities and broadcasters that will be taken with. Okay, so now y'all doing too much. Because now you said this about, I don't speak fluent Spanish. But the only thing you can say is you know where the bathroom is. Yeah, because your mouth, everything about you is shitty. You're full of shit. So you flipping back and forth. You don't understand what's going on. If you don't understand, why don't you ask your housekeeper or all the people, all the Hispanics that you do hire to do all the dirty work, your cracker ass refuses to do because when you a politician, y'all got money, right? So you can afford a housekeeper, you can afford a maid, you can afford a nanny. All them Hispanics that be sitting there wiping y'all asses, your kids' asses, taking them to and from school, driving them to school or wherever. Ask them. If you don't know what the references are, you can't sit up there and ask them. And shout out to all the people out there who have taken the time to want to educate themselves on a lot of the cultural references that they were seeing in the the halftime special. Because that's what I did. Like once I started watching it, there were certain references that I caught. Because yes, being born and raised in New York City, I'm surrounded by Puerto Ricans. One of my god brother is Puerto Rican. Also, I have a lot of family members that, of course, are Hispanic. I'm also part Hispanic. I'm, with me mixed with Filipino and black and stuff. My family is from Spain. So I do come and also growing up in Brooklyn and Harlem and so many other places a part of New York, we pretty much come in proximity of different cultures. And growing up in certain areas, you hear the music coming out of people's apartments or outside the window or when you walking down the street. So I've always been enriched in so many different cultures around here. So it don't bother me. Which is why when you hear stuff like this, these people are just like either y'all are algorithm hustling, you're doing this because it's for attention, or you genuinely are a racist and you don't like the fact that y'all are becoming the minority. That the things that y'all were able to say and do when you back in the day, y'all can't do it no more. So that's why y'all like to hide behind Trump, and that's why you voted for him. So yeah, shout out to you, Bad Bunny. Hopefully nothing comes of this because I just feel like it's just a waste of money. It's just a waste of taxpaying dollars, and this is just some frivolous ass case that y'all out here just wasting money for what? Because you didn't like the fact that somebody up there who was basically making their people feel seen and giving them a sense of hope and strength and power because y'all been browbeating them for the longest, especially with ICE and all the stuff they've been doing. So you don't like this guy, that this one artist is out here uplifting his people and giving them a sense of hope. And I'm gonna say this too. Some of you Negroes out here, some of y'all need to stand the fuck down because I don't like this shit y'all coming out here doing too, where y'all going in about, well, black people going in and throwing shade to me. But I didn't like it. You have a right to not like the show. But the reasoning with like with Chris Brown was like, they need me. No, the fuck we don't. First of all, like I said the last time, they don't pay artists in crack cocaine. So they're not gonna have you up there, and plus you're a woman beater, among other things. So they're not gonna put your black ass, well, I'm sorry, your high yalla ass up there to do no damn Super Bowl. They're not trying to deal with no even worse controversy than they've been trying to get. Even though, bottom line, y'all always gonna find something to complain about regardless. So um yeah, it's just I'm just over it in this foolishness, but we still got more to be dealing with in regards to more people coming out with they fake outrage and saying all kinds of racist shit and getting the repercussions for the stupidness that they said. But I say all this to say, what do you guys think of this story? This is such a stupid thing that of course our government is yet again spending all this money on. But yeah, so the same energy y'all putting into this whole halftime show about the widespread twerking, grinding, pelvic thrust, all this other mess, where's that same energy for these Epstein files? Because now it's been released that when they in the unredacted stuff, Trump's name has been mentioned a million times. It wasn't even 30 something thousand. It's a million. So they're talking about he's all over it. And amongst all the crazy things that's in them Epstein. So why are we not putting all the energy in that? And that's what I feel like the bottom line of all this is. It's a distraction from them files. And some people don't even think Jeffrey Epstein is dead. Anything they faked is death. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below.